The 2026 Cleveland Browns are undergoing a total transformation, and if you aren't paying attention to what is happening at OTAs, you are going to be left in the dust. We are talking about a complete demolition and rebuild of the offensive unit, a new coaching philosophy that demands absolute perfection, and a roster shift that has everyone questioning who will actually be taking the field when the season kicks off. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. Let's start with the most insane change of pace in Cleveland, the coaching style under Todd Monken. We are hearing reports that Monken is not just standing on the sidelines watching the grass grow. He is right in the middle of the action, coaching guys up between every single rep. But here is the part that should have every fan excited and maybe a little nervous: the accountability. Word is that if there is a single penalty during practice, even a simple false start, the entire play is getting reloaded. It is an immediate reset. Players like Zion Johnson are already talking about how this forces them to be hyper-focused on the snap count and their technique. If you aren't locked in, you aren't playing. This is the kind of high-stakes, disciplined intensity that wins games in December. But does this culture shift actually translate to on-field production with such a messy quarterback situation? We have Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders currently battling it out, and the decision is still hanging in the balance. But wait until you hear how Monken is already redesigning the playbook to fit these guys. The offensive scheme is seeing a massive overhaul. Monken is flirting with some Lamar Jackson-style designs, putting design runs in for Watson, which is a massive upgrade over the stale, buttoned-up approach we saw last year. He is letting his quarterbacks play free. He's looking at the athleticism in that room and saying, let's use it. Whether it is Watson's legs or Sanders' raw playmaking ability, this is no longer a game manager offense. And don't overlook the addition of Michael Burton, bringing in a true, old-school fullback. That is a signal that Cleveland is looking to get physical at the goal line. It is traditional, it is nasty, and it is exactly what this run game has been missing. Speaking of the run game, let's talk about the room that might be the most talented group on the entire roster, the wide receivers. You have Jerry Jeudy, Denzel Boston, and Isaiah Bond all fighting for position. Jeudy is the veteran route runner, but with the drop issues he's battled in the past, he's got real pressure behind him. Boston is a massive target with reliable hands, and Bond is an absolute speed demon who showed out late last year. Defenses have no idea how to prepare for this group because they offer so many different looks. Are these guys the most dangerous receiving core in the AFC right now? Drop a name in the comments below. Who do you think finishes the year as the WR1? While you're down there, let me know. Are you buying into the hype for this year's offense, or is this just another off-season smoke and mirrors show? But the real drama isn't just at the skill positions. It is the offensive line. If you look at the projected starters, Spencer Fono, Zion Johnson, Elton Jenkins, Kevin Jenkins, and Titus Howard, you are looking at a unit that was built from scratch. And for good reason. The numbers from 2025 were a total disaster. The Browns' tackles allowed a league-high 143 pressures and 21 sacks, earning the lowest pass-blocking grade in the entire NFL. Cleveland essentially decided to tear the house down. They spent their top pick, number 9 overall, on Spencer Fono to anchor the left side. Is it a gamble to move him to left tackle? Sure. But they are confident in his athleticism. And on the right side, you have Titus Howard, who didn't allow a single sack last year. This is an aggressive, high-risk, high-reward move. They saw a glaring hole, and they threw everything they had at it to fix it. There are still questions about depth at quarterback, with Dylan Gabriel and Taylon Green fighting for that third spot, and a crowded tight end room where guys like Joe Royer are trying to cement their role. Every single practice rep right now is a battle for a roster spot. Now, shifting over to the defensive side of the ball, things are looking a lot more stable. Under new defensive coordinator Mike Ruttenberg, the goal isn't to reinvent the wheel, it's to refine the machine. Ruttenberg is known for being a high-energy, passionate football mind, and he is walking into a situation where he already has one of the best defensive lines in the league. With Miles, Malik Collins, Mason Graham, and Alex Wright, this front four is capable of destroying any game plan. The linebacker room has also seen a major upgrade. Losing Devin Bush was a blow, But the addition of Quincy Williams, who has already excelled under Ruttenberg, brings an incredible amount of speed and intensity to the middle of the field. Combine that with the Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Suster, and you have a linebacker duo that can cover sideline to sideline. In the secondary, the core of Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell remains intact. Ward is not just a leader on the field, he is the heartbeat of that defense. When you hear him talk, you realize how much personality and grit he brings to this team. They are adding depth pieces like D'Angelo Ross to ensure that if the injury bug bites, the production doesn't fall off a cliff. So, here is the big question to close this out. After seeing these aggressive moves on the offensive line and the tactical changes on offense, do you think the Browns are a lock for a top 5 defense again in 2026? The pieces are there. The coaching staff is clearly pushing for a new level of accountability. But in the NFL, none of this matters until the pads go on and the scoreboard starts running. We're looking at a team that is tired of mediocrity and is doing everything in its power to force a breakthrough. The stage is set. The competition is fierce, and for the first time in a while, the coaching staff seems to have a clear, distinct identity. Are we looking at a legitimate contender? Or are these just fancy new names on an old problem? Let me know your honest take in the comments. I'll be reading through them, and I want to see how the fans are feeling about this massive 2026 overhaul. Stay tuned, because the closer we get to the season, the more this picture is going to sharpen.